So, if you're a leader today, you know the feeling, right? You're just drowning in data. Dashboards, reports, metrics. It's a constant flood. And yet, for all that information, you're often left feeling like you're just reacting, not leading. Well, in this explainer, we're going to talk about how to cut through all that and find the signal. And that really brings us to the big question, the one every leader is wrestling with. How do you get from the noise of 1,000 dashboards to that one clear, quiet signal of true insight? How do you take that cacophony and turn it into the one thing you can actually act on?
You know, the temptation is to think that if we just had a better tool or more data, the problem would solve itself. But here's the thing, it's not a technology problem, it's a strategy problem.
And this leads to a pretty radical idea. The kind of clarity you're looking for, you can't find it. You can't buy it off the shelf. It's something you have to architect. You have to build it on purpose. And that right there, that reframes the whole conversation. Knowing isn't a piece of software you install. No, it's a strategic capacity. It's an internal muscle that you have to build inside your organization. That's a huge mindset shift. Okay, so if you're not just out there buying another tool, what are you doing? You're architecting a new capacity. This means you stop thinking about just plugging in software and you start thinking about building an entire system. And you can see the two paths laid out here, and they are worlds apart. The common approach, let's be honest, it's a bit of a dead end, right? You buy software, you install a tool, you get more data, and you just end up with, well, more mess. The architect's approach flips that script. It's all about building a capacity by architecting a system that's actually designed to deliver insight, not just another mountain of data. And I gotta say, I love this metaphor. Just think about it. Your own nervous system isn't some tool you have to check. It's just part of you. It's deeply woven in, always sensing, always learning, and prompting you to act without you even thinking about it. That's the idea here, to build an intelligent nervous system for your business, one that connects everything and works seamlessly in the background. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? This is where we get practical. It really boils down to this 3-step blueprint for turning that big ambition into real, on-the-ground intelligence. So here they are, the 3 pillars of this whole architecture. First, define intent. Second, build intelligence. And third, and this is crucial, you make sure it sharpens over time. Let's break each of these down. All right, step 1. And the most important thing to get here is that this process doesn't start with tech at all. It starts with your business ambition. It's a really deep, strategic conversation about what winning actually looks like. What are the absolutely critical questions we have to answer? It's about filtering out all the noise, all the things you could track, down to the handful of things you absolutely must know to win. Okay, so once you know what you need to know, you can start to build the intelligence. And we're not just talking about connecting a few databases. It's about orchestrating them, making systems talk to each other that have never spoken before. I mean, think about your building management system talking to your balance sheet. Wild, right? And then you unleash AI agents on this new unified data flow. But, and this is a big but, their job is not to flood you with alerts. Their job is to surface the one single high-stakes insight that truly needs your attention. And that brings us to step 3. Look, this is not a set it and forget it kind of deal. The world changes, your strategy evolves, so your intelligence system has to evolve right along with it. This is about a partnership, a constant feedback loop that makes sure the system doesn't just stay sharp, it gets sharper. It literally hones its own edge. It gets smarter. So you do all this, you build this system. What's the real payoff? The result isn't just a better dashboard or a faster report. No, we're talking about something way bigger. We're talking about foresight, the actual ability to see what's coming. And that's the whole point. The goal here isn't to give you one more thing to manage. It's about delivering clarity, real, deep clarity, that actually frees you up to do the one thing you're there to do. Lead. So this is the trade. This is the big aha moment. You stop collecting dashboards and logins, and instead, you build a genuine capacity for foresight. You trade the soul-crushing complexity of managing dozens of tools for the simple clarity to lead. You shift from wrestling with inputs to acting on a single, powerful output from a system you trust. So what do you do with all that newfound freedom? You focus on the stuff that only a human can do. The leadership stuff, building the culture, growing your people, and making those big, bold bets that will define your company's future, all while having total confidence that the day-to-day operations are humming along intelligently. So at the end of the day, this whole journey, it doesn't kick off with a software demo. It starts with a strategic conversation. It starts with a blueprint. The only real question left for you is, what are you going to architect?